Hello, I am Dr. Miles, and today I am speaking to you with the utmost urgency. I am here to share vital, potentially life-saving information that I truly beg you not to ignore. Every year, hundreds of thousands of lives are drastically changed or even lost due to strokes and heart attacks, often because the early warning signs, subtle as they may be, were misunderstood or dismissed. This is especially true for us as we get older. We are going to shine a bright light on one of the most frightening warning signs your body can send: the transient ischemic attack, or TIA. Many people know it as a mini stroke, but let me be clear, there is nothing mini about the danger it signals. It is a critical alarm bell, and understanding it can truly save your life. Today, I will explain the three primary ways a TIA can happen and peel back the many layers of its often hidden causes. You might be surprised by the real culprits behind a stroke that doctors do not often mention, focusing instead on symptoms rather than the root problems. Finally, and most importantly, I will offer clear, actionable strategies you can begin today to prevent a TIA and, if you have unfortunately experienced one, how to optimize your body's ability to recover. It is absolutely critical to understand that a TIA is a temporary episode where your neurological function is suddenly disrupted because a part of your brain, your spinal cord, or even your eye is not getting enough blood. Its symptoms can appear and disappear quickly, often within mere minutes, though they can last up to 24 hours. This temporary nature, this fleeting experience causes many people, especially seniors, to let their guard down. They think, "It passed, so I must be fine." But, dear friends, that is a serious and potentially fatal mistake. A TIA is not just a passing event, it is a major risk factor and a powerful predictor of a full-blown stroke. According to the American Stroke Association, approximately 240,000 people in the United States experience a TIA every year. Research from the Framingham Heart Study indicates that while the immediate risk of a stroke after a TIA has decreased over the decades, nearly half of strokes still occur more than a year after a TIA, underscoring that the risk remains elevated long-term. Other studies suggest that the risk of having a stroke within 90 days of a TIA can be as high as 17.8%, with many occurring within 2 days of the TIA. This highlights the immense urgency of seeking immediate medical attention if you suspect you or a loved one has experienced a TIA. So, what are those critical warning signs that demand your immediate attention? Pay careful attention to anything that happens suddenly. We are talking about symptoms that appear out of the blue, without prior warning. These include sudden weakness or numbness on one side of your body. This is a phenomenon known as contralateral paralysis, because the nervous system in your brain is cross-wired, meaning an injury to the left hemisphere of the brain will affect the right side of the body and vice versa. Other red alert signals include sudden slurred speech or an inability to find words, which can be incredibly frustrating and frightening. Sudden loss of vision in one or both eyes, or even double vision, is another serious sign. Confusion that appears rapidly, or a sudden loss of balance or coordination, should also raise alarm bells. These are not symptoms to shrug off. They are your body screaming for help, and time is absolutely critical. The American Heart Association emphasizes that if you are experiencing symptoms, time is brain, and immediate treatment may reduce the long-term effects of a stroke and even prevent death. To truly understand and prevent a TIA, we need to get to the root of the problem, the three main mechanisms behind these attacks. Let us start with the first one, called an embolus. What exactly is an embolus? Imagine you have this plaque in your arteries, a dangerous buildup made up of cholesterol, calcium, and fibrous tissue. Now, picture a piece of that plaque breaking off from the artery wall. Once detached, this rogue piece, which is now an embolus, travels through your bloodstream until it reaches a narrower blood vessel somewhere else in your body, often in the brain, and blocks it. That is what will cause a TIA or a full stroke. This mechanism is a common pathway for these devastating events. Moving on to the second mechanism, a thrombus. A thrombus is also a blood clot, but unlike an embolus that travels, a thrombus forms and causes a blockage right in one spot. The most common place for this to happen is in the atrium of the heart. Think of the atrium as a priming pump for your heart. A condition called atrial fibrillation, or AFib, causes this pump to quiver chaotically instead of contracting firmly and effectively. This allows blood to pool and swirl in the corners of the atrium, creating the perfect conditions for a clot to form. When this clot gets big enough, it will either block blood flow right there within the heart, or if it gets pushed out of the heart, it then becomes an embolus, capable of traveling to the brain and causing a stroke. The European Society of Cardiology highlights atrial fibrillation as an independent risk factor for stroke, increasing the risk 5-fold. And the third mechanism, an aneurysm. This is a particularly dangerous scenario. An aneurysm occurs when a weak spot on an artery wall balloons out under the constant pressure of blood flow. Picture your artery wall like a high-quality garden hose, both flexible and strong, but with a tiny weak spot. Under constant pressure, that spot begins to bulge outwards. If this balloon-like bulge bursts, especially in the delicate network of arteries in the brain, it causes internal bleeding, an extremely dangerous type of stroke known as a hemorrhagic stroke. Now, let us truly peel back the layers of causes. This is perhaps the most important part of our discussion because it addresses the foundational issues, not just the observable problems. So, why does an embolus form in the first place, with that plaque building up in your arteries? Many people are quick to blame high cholesterol, but that is only the very end of the story, not the beginning. For plaque to even begin to build up, there must first be initial damage to the artery wall. So, what causes that crucial first scratch? The answer lies in two often overlooked factors that are frequently underestimated: chronic inflammation caused by consistently high insulin levels and a deficiency in vital vitamin C. When you consume too many processed foods and too much sugar, your body can enter a state of insulin resistance, where your cells no longer respond effectively to insulin. This results in your insulin levels being constantly high. This chronic condition not only causes system-wide inflammation throughout your body, but it also depletes vitamin C, a crucial nutrient for repairing and maintaining the flexibility of your blood vessel walls. According to several studies, vitamin C contributes to collagen synthesis, which is essential for maintaining the structural integrity of blood vessels, including arteries. When your artery walls become inflamed and are not properly repaired due to a lack of vitamin C, they become rough and sticky. This is when cholesterol gets a chance to cling to them, followed by calcium and fibrous tissue, gradually building up that dangerous plaque. So, you see, cholesterol is not the main culprit. It is merely an opportunist, cleaning up a scene already damaged by high insulin and a profound lack of vitamin C. This connection between insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease is well established, particularly in elderly men. Next, let us look at a thrombus and atrial fibrillation. What causes the heart's electrical system to become chaotic, leading to AFib? Once again, the answer is often not in the heart itself, but in your body's delicate mineral balance, specifically potassium and magnesium. These two minerals are key to every single electrical signal in your body, including those that regulate your heart rhythm. When you are deficient in them, your heart rhythm can become irregular, leading to conditions like atrial fibrillation. And what is the root cause of this mineral deficiency? Often, it is insulin resistance. When you are insulin resistant, your cells not only have trouble absorbing sugar, but they also struggle to absorb potassium. It is as if the cell's door has been locked. Even if you eat plenty of potassium-rich vegetables, your body cannot use it effectively. Furthermore, magnesium deficiency can lead to potassium depletion, because magnesium is necessary for potassium transport into tissues. Therefore, to stabilize your heart rhythm and prevent atrial fibrillation, you do not just need to supplement with minerals. You absolutely must fix the root problem of insulin resistance. Addressing these underlying issues is paramount for true cardiac health. Now, for aneurysms. What causes an aneurysm to form in the first place? Picture your artery wall again, like that high-quality garden hose, both flexible and strong. An aneurysm happens when a spot on that hose wall weakens and starts to bulge out like a balloon. The million-dollar question is, why would an artery wall, designed to withstand pressure for decades, suddenly become weak? The answer lies in a two-front attack on your vascular system. First, high blood pressure. High blood pressure is a destructive force, constantly pushing on that weak spot on the artery wall, causing it to swell larger every day. But it is the source of high blood pressure that we need to dissect. Science has clearly shown that one of the main culprits, especially as we age, is insulin resistance. When your body no longer responds effectively to insulin, it does not just lead to fat storage and high blood sugar, it also causes your arteries to become stiffer and makes your kidneys retain sodium and water. Stiffer blood vessels plus a higher blood volume equals a perfect formula for high blood pressure. Furthermore, a lack of essential minerals like potassium also contributes to this problem, as potassium plays a key role in relaxing blood vessel walls. Second, a strong force cannot do much damage if the wall is still solid and healthy. But what happens if that wall is being eaten away from the inside? This is where other factors come into play. Smoking is a prime example. It directly reduces the amount of oxygen in your blood, causing the cells lining your artery walls to suffocate, weaken, and lose their ability to repair themselves. The products of tobacco combustion injure the arterial endothelium and promote atherosclerosis, diminishing the endothelial synthesis of nitric oxide, which impairs the relaxation of arteries. Smoking also potentiates thrombosis by increasing plasma fibrinogen and altering platelet activity. It is important to note that studies have shown arterial damage from smoking is reversible upon cessation. Research also suggests that women may experience more arterial damage from smoking than men. And the most important and most often underestimated factor is a vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin C is not just an antioxidant. It is an essential component for synthesizing collagen, the protein that acts like cement and steel, keeping our tissues, including our artery walls, strong and durable. When you are deficient in vitamin C, you are producing poor quality cement for your body's infrastructure. Without sufficient vitamin C, the formation of stable collagen is impaired. Now, picture the perfect storm for a disaster. High blood pressure from insulin resistance, the pushing force, constantly presses against an artery wall that has been weakened by oxygen deprivation from smoking and a lack of quality collagen from a vitamin C deficiency. This is a ticking time bomb, and it is just a matter of time before it erupts. Understanding these root causes is the first crucial step toward taking control of your health. Now, let us move to the strategic pillars to focus on for prevention and, if the worst has already happened, for recovery. These are not quick fixes, but fundamental lifestyle changes that can profoundly impact your long-term health. Pillar 1. End insulin resistance. This is priority number 1. By cutting down dramatically on processed sugars and refined starches, and by adopting practices like intermittent fasting, you can resensitize your body to insulin. This not only helps control blood sugar, but it is also the most natural and effective way to lower your blood pressure, as studies show insulin resistance directly contributes to hypertension. Pillar 2. Replenish essential minerals. Increase your intake of leafy green vegetables, avocados, and nuts to get enough potassium and magnesium. These are the natural electrical engineers that help stabilize your heart rhythm and relax your blood vessels, directly addressing issues like atrial fibrillation. Pillar 3. Ensure you get enough vitamin C. Prioritize vitamin C from natural whole food sources like bell peppers, broccoli, and from berries. This is the raw material your body desperately needs to produce high-quality collagen, strengthening your artery walls and overall vascular system. Pillar 4. Stop poisoning your body. If you smoke, quitting is non-negotiable. This is the single most powerful step you can take to immediately increase oxygen flow to every cell and halt the destruction of your blood vessels. Studies have shown that arterial damage from smoking can be reversible, offering a powerful incentive to quit. If the worst has already happened, and you have unfortunately experienced a TIA or a stroke, in addition to strictly following your doctor's treatment plan, there are several supportive strategies that I would personally focus on to optimize the brain's ability to recover. Remember, even after a stroke, your brain has remarkable capacity for healing, and we can support that process. Recovery Strategy 1. DHA. This is a type of omega-3 fatty acid, and it is the primary structural component of your brain. After an injury, providing these high-quality building materials is absolutely critical. Numerous animal studies have shown that DHA helps reduce inflammation, decreases brain injury, and supports neurological function, acting as premium fuel for the brain's repair crew. It has been shown to reduce infarct volume and improve neurological deficits, particularly if administered early. While human clinical trials are still being clarified, the animal research is very promising. Recovery Strategy 2. Niacinamide, a form of vitamin B3. This vitamin is a precursor to NAD+, a molecule that is absolutely essential for energy production in every cell. A brain that is in the process of healing needs a tremendous amount of energy to repair itself and regenerate. Supplying niacinamide is like making sure the cell's power plant is running at maximum capacity to fuel the regeneration process. Research indicates that niacinamide can improve remyelination and functional recovery after stroke, leading to reduced neurological deficits. Recovery Strategy 3. Intermittent fasting and the keto diet. These two dietary approaches can powerfully trigger the body's own regenerative processes. They promote autophagy, which is the body's natural way of cleaning out damaged cells and recycling cellular components. They also increase the production of BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein often called Miracle-Gro for the brain. BDNF helps existing neurons survive and actively encourages the growth of new neurons and synapses, effectively rebuilding and strengthening brain connections. While more research is needed specifically on these approaches for stroke recovery in seniors, the underlying biological mechanisms are compelling. I know the information we have just discussed can be a lot to take in, but it all comes down to one fundamental principle. Understand the root cause of these devastating events instead of just treating the symptoms. By addressing issues like insulin resistance, mineral deficiencies, and vitamin C status, and by eliminating harmful habits like smoking, you empower your body to protect itself. Your body has an incredible capacity for healing and resilience if given the right support. Do not wait for a full-blown crisis. Take proactive steps now to safeguard your heart and your brain. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Senior Forward Health for more vital information that empowers you to live a healthier, more vibrant life. We are dedicated to providing you with well-researched, actionable health advice. Be sure to watch our other videos on the early warning signs of a stroke and how to prevent them. And please share this video with anyone you care about. Your knowledge can be their life raft. Thank you for trusting me with your health. Until next time, stay well and stay proactive.